Hey, what's going on, guys? Kitsune TCG here, back with another video. Doing another Pokemon video today and going over a list that I took to a challenge this past weekend where I did manage to get second place playing Raging Bolt. Definitely has fallen off a little bit here post-rotation. Definitely the introduction of Lily's Clefairy and kind of the Gardevoir resurgence does make this deck a little bit worse, so it's not quite as, I think, good as it was going into rotation, but definitely out of it, it is still a pretty good contender. You have pretty good matchups, especially against Dragapult. So obviously with that being a top deck, you're always going to be able to do pretty well. I don't think it has too many bad matchups outside of specifically most decks that are kind of able to go into Lily's Clefairy, and even then you have a pretty easy time kind of KOing back. So as long as you're just able to kind of trade prizes pretty efficiently, I still think the deck is pretty good overall. Just kind of quickly going over the list. Playing 3 Raging Bolt EX. Don't think you need to really run 4. I think that's been pretty standard for a while. Same thing with the Teal Mask Ogerpon. You're pretty easily able to get 2 of them out to kind of start loading on the energies. Got the 1 Mew EX, the 1 Latios, 1 Squawkabilly, 1 Fez, and then 1 Blood Moon Ursaluna, kind of rounding out the EXs. Obviously, you want to have some draw engine in this deck, or in this format especially as well, so Mew EX and Vezidimity are pretty good. With almost everything outside of your Noctowl engine being basics, Latios is pretty great to just be able to kind of prevent you from getting anything trapped in the active. Obviously, Maractus can make that a little bit complicated, but for the most part is going to kind of help you avoid most of those situations. I do have the Slitherwing for your stall wall decks, just being able to have something that's doesn't have a ability and isn't a EX or a Terra, so pretty good thing to include. I do have 2 Fanrotom. Obviously easy way to get out your Hoot Hoots, grab some Noctowls to hand. And then we are playing 3 Hoot Hoot and 3 Noctowl. Don't think you need to run 4 and 4. I think 3 and 3 is perfectly fine in this deck. You're usually able to kind of wrap up the game before I think you would even realistically need to include those 4th. Obviously, we are maxing out on Sada's Vitality. This is kind of the supporter that, for the most part, you want to be doing every turn, at least early on, to kind of build up your energies. And it is also a pretty good little draw engine in this deck as well. I've got 2 Boss's Orders in here. I think that that's the correct amount. I am playing Prime Catcher as well, so just plenty of things that you can kind of draw up additional 2 prizers to kind of help make sure that you are trading prizes efficiently. 2 Crispin, obviously with kind of like item locks and everything like that, you want to generally avoid not being able to get energies attached or on the board. So being able to Crispin, get something attached to like Raging Bowl, maybe add a Grass to hand to kind of keep drawing is pretty great and just kind of helps a lot in your early turns. 1 Iono, pretty obviously easy to see. You can grab it off of Noctowl if you really need to kind of see some more cards or hurt your opponent's hand. So definitely like that overall. We've got 4 Nest Balls. Obviously, with most everything in this deck being a basic, Nest Ball kind of gets you into pretty much anything that you need at the moment. And then we do have 3 Ultra Balls. Same kind of concept. If you don't see the Nest Ball, Ultra Ball can kind of get you to anything else you need, plus it can grab you the Noctowl if you need that as well. Do have 3 Earthen Vessels. Again, same thing, just kind of able to maybe put energy in the discard, grab 2 Grass or something like that, just to kind of keep going. And then we do have 2 Night Stretchers, and this just can kind of get you back whatever you need in the moment. And same thing for the energy retrievals. I am running 2. I've seen a lot of people just go down to 1, but especially if you're going to be getting rid of a lot of energies into like Dragapult or Ran into Hydregion this weekend. You're kind of needing to give off 5 energies or so to take down 2 prizers against them. So I think you need to be running more than just the 1 in order to be able to kind of close out those games and not run out of energies. I've got the 1 counter catcher and prime catcher. And for the stadiums, we are running just 2 area 0. I think 2 is generally pretty fine, plus a lot of decks are playing this as well, so you can obviously utilize your opponents pretty easily in most games as well. And then we have the 1 of jamming towers. This obviously helps nullify a lot of things, particularly into the matchup against Gardevoir. You can just kind of make sure that their Bravey Charms aren't doing anything, Rescue Board. So definitely helps a lot in certain matchups. For energies, do have the 3 basic fighting and 3 lightning. Should be plenty for the Raging Bolt. Again, you're able to get those out pretty easily with Crispin, Earthen Vessel, attach them back with Sawdust Vitality, so not usually too big of a problem. It's a pretty good amount for those. And then we are running 6 grasses to kind of finish out the 60 cards in this deck. And again, definitely think that this deck is still going to be really competitive. I really like the list. I think it played better than I expected it to. It's kind of been obviously watching many of the regionals and everything like that post-rotation. And, it definitely has kind of fallen off in popularity. But for locals, for challenges, for cups, I think it could still definitely do really well. And obviously we're still seeing some success at regionals, so definitely a deck that, if you were playing it, you can obviously still play it and see a lot of success, but I see why it's not the most poised to, stay as one of the top kind of 2 or 3 decks, but still definitely one that's just kind of generically fun to play overall. And I will definitely be taking to future events. But let me know down below what y'all think. Obviously, we're still pretty early post-rotation, so a lot of things are kind of popping out. I'm excited, obviously, for N's Zoroark. I'll definitely go over, lists like that in the future once I've kind of got that built in person or in paper. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, what y'all are playing, and I'm really excited for post-rotation. I think there's a lot of really interesting decks in the format currently, and I will see y'all next time.